I give up. What's up, everybody? What'd you think of that dramatic intro? I give up is what sometimes you want to tell yourself. This video is going to be about motivation. How do we maintain motivation to continue working on our game, to work on that passion project? I don't even know if I have all the answers, but I guess we're going to try to explore that a little bit. Hopefully, we don't get to the conclusion that we just want to give up. But I'll be honest, there are certainly times where I can feel like that. And I'd say right now is a time, I don't think I've quite hit that point of I want to give up, but I don't know. We'll talk about it a little bit. So as of my last devlog, I've explained this isn't really going to be a devlog, but I'm just kind of talking about motivation. But I explained that I had to start a new job. I don't have the luxury of making indie games full time, at least not yet. I'm working on that. I'm working on different ways to build up businesses in a sense that I am running, but I've got kind of a few irons in the fire, as it were. I mean, YouTube, that's one of them. Making games, that's another one. I've actually got 2 YouTube channels, which I'm not sure if you all know about. There's this channel, which I've dedicated strictly to, indie games and the culture around it, those sort of topical type videos and devlogs and everything. So that's what this channel is. But I mentioned it in one other video a while back. I have another channel called Quest for Tears, and I'll try to remember to put it in a card or link here. But that's kind of my fun channel. It's a channel where I just rank things and put things into tiers and that sort of stuff. It's a fun video. They're a fun channel. Something I enjoy doing. Just, I guess, as a hobby or something. So I'm kind of trying to build up 2 channels there. I have an eBay business where I sell things on eBay. I've made a board game, or I guess it's like a party game, but under that sort of board game classification. And I'm trying to figure out what to do with that right now. I might run a Kickstarter for it. There's a few things going on in the background, and it's hard to stay motivated. And the one thing, the whole kind of reason why I'm doing all this stuff, I'm doing this channel and everything, is because I want to make indie games. Previously, I did actually want to make board games as well. That was another passion of mine. And I don't know, those 2 things kind of go hand in hand in some ways. I've even thought about turning my party game into a video game, and I might still do that someday, who knows. But back to indie games. How do you stay motivated when you have all these things going on? So I have those personal things going on, but I had to get a job on top of it. So I have a job now as well that I have to go to and put hours into, and that takes away hours from the stuff that I'm doing for myself to build up in the future. And I'm sure many of you are in a similar situation. Not many of us can just, go at it full time. It's the dream, it's the hope, but how do we stay motivated? How do you stay motivated to put those extra hours in when life, I don't know if I have the answers, but I know one thing that helps drive me to continue is the passion that I have for it. So if you are not passionate on making games, then honestly, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, giving up might be better and seek out the thing that you are passionate for, because I think you have to have some kind of passion, or you're not going to be able to stay motivated to do this, because you're not getting paid for it. You may never get paid for it. So how much do you really want this? And some people try to make their big passion projects, the projects that might take them years to make. And I would love to make a big passion project, some big game, big story game or something, and build that out. But I know for me, I want to turn this into a business. And if you also want to turn it into a business, something that you can make some money with, well, making a project that takes several years to make isn't going to get you there anytime soon. And it's going to be a lot harder to motivate yourself. So when I say at the beginning, I give up, maybe you do need to give up temporarily on making that big passion project and look at your scope for what you want to do. Now, if your goal in life is not to make money, you're truly, this is just a hobby you enjoy doing, sort of like with my other YouTube channel, just something I enjoy doing. But I mean, truthfully, underneath it all, I want to make money with that too, but I do just enjoy doing it. Then make that passion project. That should be your motivation. It's called a passion project for a reason. A reason. It's, a dream, my dream game, that sort of thing. If that's enough to drive you to do it, then do it. That should be your motivation. But I know I'm not going to spend, 1 year, 2 years, let alone 3 years or anything like that making a game. Not right now. I'm too new into this. I'm learning. I need the experience. I need to release games and get them out there into the world sooner. I need to try out different things, different themes, and figure out where I want to land. I mean, mentally, I know sort of what like a dream game or whatever would be for me, but I would really have to plan that out, really have to think that through. And I know I'm not like going to be motivated to do that right now at this point in my life. I couldn't do the dream game until I knew I was earning income steadily. So I'm making these smaller games. I'm making a game called Fruits versus Veggies right now. And to be honest, I'm not overly thrilled about the game. I'll probably talk about that more in some devlogs coming up, but it's a small scoped game. I mean, there's part of me that wants to move on to something else already. And that's partially because that game it had sort of a purpose of learning how to release a game, how to make a game on my own, and getting through that to completion. Well, I'm not done with it yet. I can't really put a final like stamp on it to say this game's done, but it's getting close to that point. It's not going to be a masterpiece of a game. Many people might not even ever play it. And for me, that's okay because I'm on a journey here, and that's part of that journey. I don't think I am ready to give up, but I am ready to move on, if you understand the difference. I want to make a different game already. But this is part of the process, isn't it? Because you have to be disciplined as well to finish a game. So I don't know, how do we stay motivated? Keep that goal in front of you, whatever it is, but make those goals attainable, achievable. If you have a game that you're planning and it's so huge and whatever, a project, anything, you're either going to have to break that up into smaller goals because you need something to keep you motivated, keep you going through. And goals can be motivating, but if they're so unattainable or they take too long to achieve, it's hard to keep your motivation up. So either make just shorter games until you have the opportunity to make the bigger ones down the road when maybe you're more financially stable or you've got more time somehow. Even still, you'll need goals. But in the meantime, just even a small game like I'm making where I want to finish it in like 3 to 4 months. I'm not even sure I'm going to hit that goal of mine, but I'm trying to kind of, in my mind, I'm trying to think of like, how can I wrap up my game? What's the steps that I need to do to wrap this game up and say it's a complete package and sell it for a few bucks? Maybe nobody will buy it. Maybe a few people will buy it, but it's part of my process in getting to those bigger games down the road. It's part of my process in learning how to complete a game. And those are my little goals. But honestly, this is taking longer than I thought it would. And I have a feeling that's the same sort of sentiment most of us have within this sort of indie game industry. Development always takes longer than you think. But I'm learning. I hope that in time, once I get a little more used to this, and I'm going to make probably several smaller scoped games until I really learn this process. And in a way, I think that will keep me motivated because if I can finish these smaller games, for one, you get a new fresh start every few months. You kind of finish a project, which feels good, and you start something new that's new and exciting, and you keep that process going. It's going to be a lot harder for me to do while I'm working another job that I have to devote the majority of my hours to. but if you have the passion, you'll have the motivation, I think. One thing that drove me when I had my previous job was I hated that job. I absolutely hated it. That's what made me start this whole indie game thing, because I wanted, if I was going to have to work at some crap job with a crappy boss, I wanted to know I had something else going on, something that I was doing to help better my situation. And for me, I took up indie game development because it was a passion. It was something I had always been interested in and never pursued. So I was doing that on the side to keep that, helped drive me, if you want to say, is that the same as motivation in a way? It just helped keep me going and get through my crappy job, knowing that I was doing something to help myself. And that might be another scenario for you guys. Use something negative to motivate you to keep going on something positive, which hopefully game development is positive for you, or whatever passion project or whatever you're trying to work on that might be a dream for you. Yeah, I didn't mean for this video to be very long. It looks like it might be a little longer. It's just me talking about motivation, sharing a little bit of my story. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I encouraged anyone. I hope so in some regard. Tried to give you a few ideas or thoughts on how to stay motivated and push yourself through to complete goals. Make smaller goals, achievable goals, things that you can celebrate along the way. It's a brain thing. It helps. But yeah, I'll be back with another devlog next week. And to be honest, there's not going to be a lot for me to say because it's harder and harder for me to put time into my game when my time is taken elsewhere. But I'm going to stick with it. And these videos help me to stay motivated as well, just to share my story. So until next time, I hope you guys stick around, watch these videos, leave any comments, anything, your thoughts on motivation. Leave that in the comments. I'd love to hear more about what your guys' story is a little bit. Leave a longer comment. I don't mind. I'll read them. But yeah, you know what? Keep YouTubing it up.
Thanks for checking out Neon Dream Games channel. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell button so you can stay up to date on all the latest videos we have to offer. Don't forget to leave a comment to suggest what kind of videos you'd like to see more of in the future. See you in the next video.